when I was watching this, I was like, I want to hear Bridget's thoughts before we talk about why Tabitha is getting dragged, because at first I didn't understand why she was getting dragged. So for those who haven't seen it, Tabitha Brown is once again getting dragged. She already got dragged for the Target comments in January. It's now September, another day, another drag. I don't know why the tide is turning on her so much, but let's watch this real quick.
Hello there. Real quick. That this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay? You gotta been in this place for a long time. Okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay? Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job.
Ooh.
You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job.
Wait a minute. So the thing she said was, it's time to get a job, right?
Yeah.
Now I was like, okay, that's an intro. It's a video. I didn't see a problem until the reaction started pouring in, and Bridget, people were mad.
Stop supporting these celebrities. I'm sick of it. I am fucking sick of it. This is not the time for these celebrities to be coming out talking their shit about hardworking people that support them. The reason why these motherfuckers can even sit on this fucking pedestal that they're on is because of black people, specifically black women, spending their money on their products, their shows, so watching their bullshit online. Like, the audacity. And I've fucking had it, okay? The shit that black people, specifically black women right now in this fucking country are going through right now, save it. Because why the fuck are you even talking about something you don't know shit about? And then you're talking down on your supporters. I'm so fucking sick of these people. And then people are spending their last to support these people. Stop supporting these people. Let them suffer. Let them fall flat on their fucking asses. And I hope Tabitha's stupid ass goes bankrupt.
Oh.
Yes, her, Kelly Price, all these people. Who was, I just made a video about another person. Funky Donnie, anybody that is saying anything negatively about their core supporters. The economy is fucking bad, but yet these people, your supporters, are still scraping together their pennies to support y'all. And this is what y'all do? Y'all get on the fucking internet and say asinine shit out of y'all motherfucking mouths? No. And you know what? At some point, you supporters, you fans, accountability needs to be had with y'all too. Stop supporting these people that do not deserve your support. And that's all I'm going to say about this shit, because it's pissing me off. Because a lot of people really don't understand what the fuck is about to happen with this economy. Because a lot of people are oblivious. Everybody is going to feel it if they already haven't started feeling this shit already. Pissing me the fuck off.
It's interesting to me because I feel like Tabitha Brown was being hyper specific to the point where I felt like she was probably talking to a relative in that video. And then a whole bunch of people was like, is she talking about me? It's like, no, bitch, she wasn't. And I hate when you guys accuse people of being tone deaf when it's like, girl, they have an earbud in and they're clearly on the phone. They weren't talking to you. They weren't tone deaf. They weren't even speaking in your direction. You just misheard them. Or when y'all accuse people of not reading the room, and it's like, well, bitch, they weren't even in the same room as you. Matter of fact, they weren't even in the same building as you. You had to drag their ass and bring them over here because you couldn't comprehend what the fuck they were saying.
One thing I do not understand with this situation with Tabitha Brown and her saying, if y'all listen to what she said, because people always want to take out these concepts. What she said was, entrepreneurship is hard, it's difficult, and if you're going to go for entrepreneurship, get a job in the process, create an income. Mind you, she tells her story where she was doing Uber while she was creating content. What is wrong with that?
So Bridget, what are your thoughts about, people are, the girls are in a tizzy, honey. The girls are in a motherfucking tizzy. People are saying it's her tone. It feels condescending. Bitch, we are the reason why we are your job. Mind your fucking business. They're mentioning the 350,000 Black women in corporate America who've been laid off since June, and how tone deaf it is to say get a job to the very demographic who's lost almost 500,000 jobs. It's a lot. What's your first thought?
My first thought is that none of the people that responded that way are entrepreneurs. That's my first thought. That's my first thought. The first girl who seemed very upset. I
hope you go bankrupt. She said, Tabitha, I hope you go bankrupt.
Yeah, I think she internalized something that was not for her. And a lot of what Tabitha said was important. It did sound, when she said the people you owe money to, that felt like she's talking to somebody in her family. that was my takeaway. As soon as she said that, I said, oh, this is a sub to somebody.
Somebody said Tabitha's too rich to say that. I mean, so you think that she was subbing and then we caught a stray? Is that what you think is happening?
That she's subbing and caught a stray? I don't think she said anything. I don't think she said anything wrong. The only thing I will say.
Hi Tony. Tony's in here.
The only thing I think that's tricky is when somebody says entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't like. Had she said entrepreneurship is a difficult uphill battle, that's a very different sentence. That's a very different statement.
Yeah.
Right? Like that to me, saying entrepreneurship is an uphill battle and you're gonna have its peaks and valleys, you're gonna have a hard time. That to me is concern. That's concern, that's compassion. Saying it's not for everybody is divisive. Because now it makes it seem like there's qualifications that make it. I like that she pointed out your ideas are great, but your follow through is not as great. That's a lot of entrepreneurs. That's a lot of creative.
Do you think the tone was condescending? Because they're saying there's a tone and a wagging finger that some people who agree with her are still saying they didn't like the tone. What do you think about that nuance of it? About maybe it's not even just what she said, but it was the way that you're rich and looking down on people who are still trying to get where you are.
I think that's projection, and I think she's from the South, and I think the way that she communicates, the cadence in which she speaks slowly, she speaks intentionally, she's endearing, she calls everybody baby. To me, I don't see that as the tone being condescending. If you don't like what she's saying, you just don't like what she's saying. Which is okay. I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs and creative people, creatives in particular. I can speak on it from a creative standpoint. Mm-hmm. Most creatives are not good business people. We're not. We're just not, inherently we're not, right? You have to learn how to do it. And it takes a lot of trial and error. There was a clip, and I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it before this live, that Giancarlo Esposito is in an interview, and he talks about all of the jobs that he did in between his job. And the point that he was trying to make was that you have to live. Yeah. You have to live so you can dream. At some point in your life as an adult, you got bills, bro. And if you have been at something for months and for years at a time, your quality of life is diminished. If you can't support yourself, your
mental health, it's stressful being broke. Being broke is stressful.
Your interpersonal relationships suffer. Yeah. If you're a parent, you have an unbelievable amount of stress and pressure on you. Like, I think the point is we have romanticized entrepreneurship so much that people have forgotten that a lot of what we see as content online that looks easy, that looks effortless, that looks like it doesn't take a lot of time, still has to be incredibly strategic and intentional. And it takes a long time to build something that is sustainable. Sustainability is really the hardest thing to gain. And the job market doesn't have it right now for a lot of people based on what we hear. And also creative spaces don't have it either. Nothing is sustainable. So I think people are more upset at the messenger than they are about the message. And I think
somebody talk about sustainability, because remember I sent you that chart about how my YouTube had gotten flagged for talking about what's happening overseas. Because, I wanted to talk about something political and it got me a strike. And it took me a year for my YouTube to be remonetized.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things of, it's such a tricky dance, and it takes you when you see somebody making a lot of money on YouTube or Twitch or those places, they spent tens of thousands of hours and dollars of their own money front loading that success. And so it could take now that I'm making money, I'm not going to actually make back what I've invested to get here until December. I did the math.
Well, and the other thing to consider
it's an investment in yourself.
It is, but a lot of people cannot afford to do that.
Exactly. I don't think I could either. I was just being foolish, but yes, it's an investment.
I think it's hard to receive a message from somebody that is no longer in your position.
That part.
I think it's
pause. Before you have to go, I want to play something from an HR. Somebody said, Blue, wow, sorry. No, don't be sorry. Like, I believed in myself, right? And it's finally panning off, but I had to believe in myself. Bridget knows there will be times where I was like spending rent money on going to the podcast studio.
But I would like to say, you were also coming and starting at a place where there's already been proof of concept. So you've already done it.
Yeah.
So I think the target audience for Tabitha's message was for people that have not done it yet. You've got ideas and you've got all these things, but you haven't gotten to that place yet where it is something that can be lucrative and profitable for yourself. So you don't know if it works or not. And she said it clearly in the beginning. I'm not telling you to give up on your dream. I'm not saying this to discourage you, but don't die trying. Don't die trying. Don't die trying.
Is it tone deaf for the current job market? She said, somebody said it is tone deaf because of the job market, not the message. Oh, she also has a point. Most of us in the U.S. is just overpriced, so people are dealing with a lot. I want to play this real quick before Bridget has to run off, because I wanted to get a nuanced perspective, not just from people who are mad, who, like the girl who said, I hope you're bankrupt. That's a wild thing to say publicly, by the way. There are people I cannot stand, and I would still never publicly say something like that about them. And then the guy who's like, she probably talking to her little cousin who owes her money. Calm down. It's not about you, right? I looked up an HR professional because I was like, what do people who actually employ people think about Tabitha's comments? And I found a Black woman who had a very interesting perspective about why people are so booty-hit about Tabitha talking about.
Every time I open my For You page on here, I'm seeing just so much content and rhetoric about like how to be a content creator and how to get more followers. And it's kind of making me think that as a culture, we're now shifting to a space where it's kind of an insult to tell somebody to get a job, or if you're trying to pursue content creation full time, it feels like failure when you have to go get a 9-to-5. And I just think that's a dangerous place to be. And keep it in mind, everything that has been going on in corporate with, 300,000 plus Black women losing their jobs in corporate and all of these things, keeping that in mind, it is hard to get and keep a job right now. I just don't think that it should be looked down upon if you have a 9-to-5. I mean, I could be biased because I work in HR, but I just feel like me having a job in a 9-to-5, my corporate job has quite literally changed my life. Like, I'm sitting in this house right now, purchased by my corporate job. So I understand how having the right job and the right career can actually change your life. But that doesn't mean that you can't use your corporate career or your 9-to-5 or whatever to fund your dreams of entrepreneurship and like your side hustle.
So what do you think about that? Her perspective is the reason why people are so mad isn't just Tabitha, is that now having a 9-to-5 is seen as uncool. So tell people to get a job. Just the idea of, oh my God, I'm not going to be rich as a content creator. I'm not going to be rich as an entrepreneur. I actually have to go get a job is now seen as a failure. We're back in the getting a job was seen as survival.
I have an unpopular opinion about this.
Ooh.
Being someone
somebody said this is not on my tax bracket. I'm looking for a second job as we speak. I feel you, friend. Hit it, Bridget.
Number one, I think everybody's lying.
Oh,
I think.
Oh wow. Okay, we're starting like this. Okay, you want to do violence before you leave, friend? All right, hit it.
I just sent an email for a 15-minute grace period. Hopefully they grant it to me.
That'd be amazing.
I think everybody's lying. I don't think anybody is making the money that they're making. I think everybody lives beyond their means. Ooh. I think we all, myself included, we spend money on shit that we do not need to be spending money on. We eat out, we call Uber Eats when we don't need to be calling Uber Eats. We DoorDash things, we Instacart things when we cannot afford that convenience.
Are you talking about me in my face on my show? What's happening? I feel very attacked. What's happening?
We.
I'm contacting a lot, Bridget.
We're talking about we. Teal, blue and green.
Blue and green, teal.
Blue and green. Okay. We spend beyond our means. We do. Yeah. We do. And that is as a collective, as a country, doesn't matter what job you have, right? Yeah. Content creators, it's part of their job to make it look like they have more money. They don't. Yeah. Most of them do not. And the ones that do, they're still fighting. They're still fighting for their lives in some area. where they're fighting to get a nest egg, they're fighting to have savings, they're fighting to. Yeah. Most American people do not have more than $1,000 saved. Most of us do not. Oh. That is just the truth of it. So to me, it is trying to push a divisive narrative. Collective we, we don't have money saved for emergencies, and $1,000 nowadays doesn't get you very far in a lot of places for if you have a real emergency. So I think we got to be real sensitive and real careful when we start talking about people that have it versus don't have it. Well, she's not in a position to. We don't know what her overhead is. We don't know how many people she supports. Every single person I know who makes high six figures supports somebody else. Financially supports somebody else, whether it's children,
somebody's else, parents,
whether it's children, right? Yeah. There's plenty of women that we know, Black and brown women specifically, that we know are taking care of more than one child themselves financially. Let's be honest. That's a huge undertaking. Huge. We're not factoring those things in. So talking about somebody else's money, I'm not counting Tabitha's pockets. I don't know what she makes or what she claims to make. I don't know. Yeah. But I guarantee she's not just taking care of herself and her kids and her husband. She's probably got a staff that she's paying. She's probably got other people whose salary she's paying.
That cousin she made the video about in the DL who probably owes her money from being an entrepreneur. She's like, get a job.
And she specified in the comments that she's referring to people that deliberately do not go look for jobs, not the people that are on LinkedIn day in and day out applying. Yeah. She's talking about the people that are like, nah, plan B is to make plan A work. But what's going to happen when your lights get shut off before you even get to plan B?
Plan D.
Like, what is plan C when you ain't got no gas? Like, so that to me, but I think that's when we have those conversations, I think the hard part about hearing from somebody that's got money is the fact that the tone deafness is always the choice of words, right? Yeah. It's always the choice of words. The messaging itself, not. And everybody, I think most people who have chosen to misinterpret this because they feel like they got something personal against Tab. I don't know why, but there's a lot.
I think the term "get a job," while people have been looking for jobs for 18 months now and they're busting their ass and haven't got one, I think subconsciously some people feel like they're being scolded as if their efforts aren't real. Like, me not having a job doesn't mean I didn't look for one.
So the disclaimer, that's the point of consensus. Just because I don't have a job, I didn't look for a job. So there should have been a disclaimer that's like, look, I know that the job market is shit right now, and I know
would have changed it. That would have
changed everything. If she led with, I know so many people with multiple degrees, with PhDs, master's degrees, who cannot.
And you were caping for Target. So the lady who was caping for Target in January saying get a job, when you were low key inspiring people to cross a picket line so you could feed your family, they're like, how dare you?
Which is why I say everybody's lying, because then, as far as I'm concerned, she ain't got it like we think she's got it either. If she's got to cross that line to make sure she eats and her family eats.
Bridget is an Aries, guys. For those who are saying Bridget is choosing violence,
I am. Because if we're gonna call a spade, let's really do it, right? Like, we don't have to pussyfoot around this. At the end of the day, money is an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people.
It is
an uncomfortable conversation, and most of us have spirits of unworthiness around money. We have problems believing that we deserve what we are working for because we've constantly been underpaid. Mm-hmm. So in those kinds of moments, it's like the grace that we need, we have to be willing to grant other people. And I'm not saying grant Tab grace in this moment. I'm saying we can differentiate the message from the messenger. The message really is, do not feel entitled to things, because it's hard for everybody out here. Even the people that you think have it like that probably don't have it like that. Unless you
have it like that. I will say this: some people are not faking. And Oprah once famously said, "It's not what you make; it's what you keep." Bridget will tell you, I got 2 big paychecks in the last 30 days and watched them both disappear within 48 hours of me getting them because of commitments that I had. So if somebody was looking at me, they're like, no, Blue got it. Yes, Blue didn't get to keep it for more than 36 hours, y'all. Right? I got parents, I got bills, I have a mortgage and rent, I got family. So it's like, sometimes even if you're not lying, your responsibilities, the profit margin might be incredibly fucking thin.
I think I think we need to factor that in with human beings. Even if you're not interested in finding a common ground with somebody that makes a lot more money than you, the common ground should really be that people still got bills. Bills are still bills.
And they're bigger than usual.
A lot of people are caretakers. People that you think really making money, or people that you think don't actually have money, they're financially supporting at least 2 or 3 other people in their family. And
every time somebody in here tips, the first thought I think is, oh, I'm one step closer to being able to go see my mom again. Like, y'all think, oh, we're tipping Blue and Bridget and they're gonna go pop bottles. I'm thinking about flights to Boston to check on my parents.
We have a Patreon. Blue and I have a Patreon.
Yes, please join our Patreon. I'm gonna put the link.
That where we have 3 different tiers. The $5 tier gets you 2 episodes a month. The $10 tier gets you 3 episodes a month, and the $15 tier gets you 3 episodes a month. And at the end of the month, we do a fireside chat, which is a Zoom call where we connect with everybody. We have a Discord channel where we talk to everybody. And there are personal relationships formed in that community that are really special and very transparent and oftentimes vulnerable, because when you have a pod community like that, you have to invest in that community to some degree so that people feel like they're a part of that.
It's community.
And there have been several people in the last year that
people are shouting us out. Everything is fine.
Yes.
Joining.
There are people.
Oh, I love this.
There are people that, while I know love me and love Blue and support us, that have sent me messages that are like, look, I got laid off. I can't swing it. I can't afford it. And I'm like, look, I understand. That's the other part, right? When you are in a position where your livelihood is contingent on people's support, you also got to be mindful of where of what's going on with them when they're supporting you. I think that is important. And I think the tone deafness too comes around where it's like, maybe the part about her career path that she's created, she hasn't created the community where she's able to be transparent or vulnerable enough with them to be able to say, hey, y'all, I know y'all love me, but if y'all ain't got it, y'all ain't got it. Please.
I think after the Target thing, for me, the message wasn't bad. It was the timing for you to do it the same year that Target happened and not acknowledge the 350,000 women who are all over the news losing their jobs, who are your main demographic. Mm-hmm. I think it's not what she said that's the problem. It's what she didn't say that's the problem for me.
Correct.
She omitted the parts that made it palatable and not feel tone deaf. So I agree with her message. I don't have a problem with her message at all, actually.
Yeah. The word choice was piss poor.
It was Tabitha. We love you, and we can say that you needed a little bit more salve on the wound before you gave that message, because everybody's incredibly rubbed raw right now.
I also think your cousin needs to give you your money back so that.
Ooh. So we all think there really is a cousin. It didn't feel specific. It felt very specific.
You have good ideas, but not good follow through. Girl, that sounds very personal.
Leave that for the group chat, friend. Like, who are you talking to?
You have great ideas, but not great follow through. It's time to get a job. Because you out here, you robbing Peter to pay Paul. She's talking to somebody. Like, she's talking to somebody. That was too specific.
But she didn't take it down, and it's still.
I'm happy she didn't take it down. She was responding to comments.
Yeah.
She was responding to comments, and she said a lot of her operative word was yet. It hasn't worked yet. She's not saying to quit. She's saying to survive.
There's a young man. I do want to be fair to Tabitha, because I do want you guys to know that we can, in the words of James Baldwin, if I love you, then it is my responsibility to make you aware of what you're not aware of. And I noticed there's one person that Tabitha actually responded to and said exactly. So before you leave us, Bridget, everybody's so depressed that you're leaving us.
I'm sorry. We'll do it again.
The next time you come back, Bridget, I need you to block off time, because the people are hungry.
I need you to start on the time we agree on then, because this started later than the time we agreed. So I had made a commitment beyond that.
Lives always go past. So whenever you do a live at an hour, lives always go past, y'all. I'm gonna show you what Tabitha actually liked as a response, because this is what she was like. Yes, exactly. This is what I meant. Watch this, guys.
I've often said that the most important lesson that my mother taught me was to eat the fish and spit out the bone. At a time when so much information and so many things need to be discerned in real time, it is very important that I be able to discern truth, lies, and what is beneficial versus what should be rejected. This principle guides me in all of my decision making because I've able to intake information, process what makes sense for me in my life.
So that's what's, out of all the comments, this is the one that Tabitha chose to respond. Like, eat the fish and spit out the bone. The part that works for you, take that in, and the part that doesn't work for you doesn't work for you. Spit it out. And her response was exactly.
I think we've lost critical thinking skills. So if they could be recovered, then that would be great. If people could grow discernment in their backyard, then we'd be very different.